Moving on. How does it stop multiple votes?
Okay, so
Machine number tracking.
so again, we're not talking about the state level or national elections right now. We're not able to do that yet. But eventually, this blockchain system that we're going to implement um, will use the identity verification. There will only be one vote per person per bill. And that's just going to be in the code. There's not going to be an ability for people to counteract that or sidestep it or get around that. And that'll be in the code. And part of the code I aim to have um, available so that people can scrutinize it. Part of this is being transparent because we want you as citizens. We want you to be able to trust this. And part of that trust is showing our hand. It's not going to reveal any sort of identifying information on the people, but the votes themselves, kind of the process will be more transparent than you've seen in any sort of thing before. And that's just part and parcel of what a blockchain type deal is.
And hopefully, across the board, um, this is universally accepted that we don't want multiple votes, that we don't want voter fraud, right? I don't care what party you're from, you accept and desire that, one vote per person per citizen. No shenanigans. Hopefully that's in the consciousness of every group everywhere.
And by the way, verifying and auditing a vote is not taking away anyone's rights. It's not. This is there's a big narrative being pushed, and to be a voter, you have to be a citizen, and that's my view. If you're you have to be a legal citizen of the United States to be able to vote in my view. And I don't think that shouldn't be politicized. You're not, if you want to vote, then follow you can become a citizen. Let's do it the right way.
If I were Canadian, I would be upset if Tyler and Adam were voting in Canada. So, I mean, it's as simple as that, right?
I think so.
Everyone would need access to a device, phone for most, laptops, personal computer, whatever. Could they also vote at libraries, town halls with computers?
Yes, we anticipate this being, there will be two components because part of what the blockchain is there's a network of computers that come together to um, solve algorithms basically that secures the network. And we're going to need those out there. Need a big network of those running. They're not going to have to be a big, like a Bitcoin mining rig. It can be just a small little app on your computer that takes up 1 to 5% of your CPU. Um, we're going to need that. And just as an aside, I want to make it so that um, any particular computer, you can't. Right now, they have Bitcoin mining pools so that people come together and they put all their computational power into this particular pool to solve the problems, and then um, they share in the rewards. I don't want what we're doing to be able to be pooled together that way. There, each computer will be individual. Um, say there's 10,000 computers. Well, each computer will only be able to contribute 1/10,000th of the power to that, because part of the idea behind the blockchain is once you have a 51% agreement, and again this goes back to the majority type deal, then they can control how those votes go. And so in order to prevent any sort of um, 51% attack, so to speak, this is kind of Bitcoin jargon, and if you aren't familiar with that, just look it up. We may get to it eventually, not this time, but um, we want the computational power distributed over as many people as possible, not to be able to be concentrated to direct attacks on the network and on the votes. So we're going to need those individual computers to do that, and those will have little apps on them. Now, most likely there will be now the developers may end up coming up with something different, but I would hope that we'd be able to just vote on through a website. Now that may not end up happening. You may need to have an app on your phone, but you know, with what I've seen and as far as censorship and things, apps on phones are, you know, you're removed from the iTunes store, you're removed from Google Play, and then it's like you're non-existent. Then you have to go through these big hoops to be able to get your apps on a phone, and it's not very easy. So the end around for that is just to be able to go on a website in a browser, because unless they start blocking individual websites, you'll still be able to access that. So there most likely will be 2 different ways to vote, but you still only be able to vote once per person per bill. So yes, because not everyone has a computer, not everyone has internet, and you know, if you find yourself in that position in the future, we hope we would have enough resources and people in the community that we can put a call out, say, hey, so-and-so would like to vote on this. Can they come over to your house, or can you take them to the library, or can you give them $5 to take a bus down, or whatever the case may be. We would hope that we could come together as a community to help people to do that.